tensions in East Asia have intensified as Japan accelerates the deployment of missile systems near Taiwan, and China responds with increasingly assertive military activity, rattling observers across the region. The Taiwan Strait, long considered one of the most sensitive flashpoints in global geopolitics, is now witnessing a combination of strategic signaling, defense enhancements, and alliance coordination that has elevated both the perception and the reality of risk. Analysts warn that while no party appears intent on initiating conflict, the accumulation of military capabilities, the sophistication of exercises, the rhetoric from leadership figures have created a delicate balance where miscalculation could have severe consequences. Japan has undertaken a marked shift in its defense posture by deploying medium-range missile systems on Yonaguni Island, an outpost situated approximately 110 kilometers east of Taiwan. This deployment represents a significant step beyond Japan's historically defensive orientation, signaling its commitment to safeguarding not only its southwestern islands, but also regional stability. The defense minister of Japan, Shinjiro Koizumi, emphasized rationale behind these deployments, saying, "These deployments are necessary to protect our national security and ensure the stability of the region." Tokyo frames these actions as a necessary deterrent in response to the increasing military capabilities of China in the vicinity of Taiwan and the southwestern Japanese islands. Complementing these medium-range systems, Japan has also integrated long-range strike capabilities, including surface-to-ship missiles and hypersonic glide munitions, into its ground self-defense force units. These weapons provide Japan with the ability to extend operational reach beyond its immediate territory and to respond decisively to any potential threat. In addition, Japan has conducted joint exercises with the Philippines, which included the firing of missiles from Philippine bases, underscoring both operational readiness and a willingness to coordinate with regional partners. These initiatives collectively reflect a carefully calibrated strategy to deter aggression while maintaining a defensive posture that minimizes provocation. China, reacting sharply to Japan's military enhancements, has characterized the deployments as dangerous provocations that escalate regional tensions and threaten peace. Officials from the Ministry of National Defense in Beijing highlighted historical sensitivities, pointing to Japan's militarization as a destabilizing factor in the Asia-Pacific region. Concurrently, the People's Liberation Army, PLA, has significantly increased military activity around Taiwan, conducting large-scale live fire drills, air sorties crossing the median line of the Taiwan Strait, and naval exercises simulating blockades. These operations are designed to signal that Beijing will defend its territorial claims, emphasizing that Taiwan is a core national interest and that external interference will not be tolerated. President Xi Jinping has made clear in diplomatic engagements that the Taiwan issue carries global strategic weight. He warned that mismanaging the situation could severely strain relations with the United States and other international actors, highlighting the high stakes involved. GC stated, "We will defend our sovereignty and territorial integrity, and we will not tolerate external interference in our affairs." These words encapsulate China's intent to assert control over the narrative and the strategic environment surrounding Taiwan, demonstrating a readiness to respond to any actions perceived as threatening. Taiwan itself has continued to bolster its defense capabilities amid the rising tension. Recently, the island unveiled the final vessel in a 12-ship patrol program capable of carrying missile systems during wartime, strengthening the Coast Guard's operational capabilities. Taiwanese officials stressed that Chinese military incursions, including air and naval maneuvers, are a persistent threat. By modernizing its fleet and integrating advanced missile systems, Taiwan signals both resilience and preparedness to the territorial waters. Beyond the immediate actors, the broader geopolitical environment has also played a significant role in shaping the current security dynamics. The United States continues to provide military support to Taiwan, including arms sales and cooperative training exercises, which reinforces deterrence and reassures regional partners. Japan, in turn, has reviewed arms export controls to facilitate defensive cooperation with allies such as the Philippines. These collaborative measures highlight a regional strategy aimed at counterbalancing Chinese influence while ensuring that deterrence remains credible and effective. Japan's actions, while defensive in nature, send a clear signal to Beijing regarding the serious miss, WIT, each which Tokyo views regional security threats. The combination of missile deployments, integration of advanced strike capabilities, and regional exercises demonstrates operational readiness and the capacity to project force in defense of its interests. Shinjiro Koizumi reinforced this framing, saying, "Our actions are aimed at ensuring stability, not at provoking conflict." Japan emphasizes that these measures are intended to protect national security and support regional peace, even as they inevitably communicate a message of deterrence to China. China's military actions, while framed domestically as the defense of sovereignty, also serve as a strategic signal to both regional actors and the international community. The scale and sophistication of PLA exercises, combined with strong rhetoric from leadership, underline a commitment to maintaining control over Taiwan and asserting China's strategic objectives. Analysts note that the combination of live fire exercises, maritime maneuvers, and repeated aerial incursions conveys both capability and resolve, indicating that Beijing is prepared to escalate if necessary while carefully managing risks to avoid full-scale conflict. The Taiwan Strait's strategic importance extends beyond security concerns to economic considerations. Taiwan is a central hub for semiconductor manufacturing, and any disruption in the region could have severe consequences for global technology supply chains. Shipping lanes through the strait are critical for international trade, including the transport of energy resources, making the stability of these waters a matter of both regional and global significance. As military activity intensifies, the potential impact on trade and industry adds another layer of complexity to the security environment. Within this context, the strategic balance in East Asia reflects a complex interplay of deterrence, signaling, and alliance dynamics. Japan's deployments, Chinese exercises, and Taiwan's defensive measure illustrate multidimensional approaches to security, combining capability demonstrations with strategic messaging. While these actions are designed to maintain peace and deter aggression, they inherently carry the risk of misperception or accidental escalation. Analysts emphasize the importance of communication, crisis management, and diplomacy to reduce the likelihood of conflict, recognizing that missteps in this volatile environment could have far-reaching consequences. The situation also underscores the evolving nature of military alliances and regional cooperation. Japan's willingness to conduct joint exercises with the Philippines and integrate advanced strike systems demonstrates a proactive approach to alliance management. Similarly, U.S. support for Taiwan, coupled with regional arms coordination, reinforces deterrence across multiple fronts. These measures reflect a strategic understanding that security in the Taiwan Strait cannot be addressed in isolation, requiring a net-orked approach that balances military preparedness with diplomatic engagement. Throughout the region, leaders and analysts are acutely aware of the stakes. Taiwan's investments in modern patrol vessels and missile systems, Japan's deployment of medium and long-range missiles, and China's large-scale exercises collectively illustrate a high degree of strategic calculation. Each move communicates both intent and capability, shaping the perceptions of other actors and influencing strategic choices. Observers note that these developments reflect a careful balancing act, with all parties seeking to assert their interests while avoiding actions that could spiral into full-scale confrontation. At the same time, the region is closely monitored for unintended consequences. The accumulation of military assets, the frequency of exercises, and the increasingly assertive rhetoric create an environment in which even small incidents could escalate rapidly. Analysts caution that while deterrence strategies are intended to prevent conflict, the combination of multiple actors, advanced weaponry, and high-stakes signaling increases the potential for miscalculation. This makes continuous monitoring, crisis communication, and diplomatic engagement essential to maintaining stability. Ultimately, the situation reflects a region in which the traditional notions of defense and deterrence are evolving rapidly. Japan's missile deployments, PLA exercises, and Taiwan's defensive modernization all indicate a strategic environment that requires nuanced understanding and careful management. The actions of individual states, while designed to protect national interests, are interdependent, with consequences that extend across borders and affect global economic and security dynamics. As East Asia navigates these tensions, the delicate balance of power, alliance coordination, and deterrence remains at the forefront of regional strategic considerations. Analysts note that the coming months will be critical in determining whether the current measures contribute to long-term stability or inadvertently raise the risk of conflict. Both Japan and China, along with Taiwan and supporting regional actors, must carefully calibrate their actions to preserve security while demonstrating resolve. He said, "We will defend our sovereignty and territorial integrity, and we will not tolerate external interference in our affairs." The words capture the seriousness with which China approaches Taiwan while simultaneously illustrating the high stakes that define the current regional landscape. Japan, for its part, has emphasized that its actions are defensive, aimed at protecting national security and ensuring regional stability. Taiwan continues to modernize its forces, signaling readiness and resilience, while the United States and regional partners reinforce deterrence through strategic cooperation and military engagement. In this environment, the Taiwan Strait serves as both a barometer and a fulcrum of regional security. Every deployment, exercise, and diplomatic statement carries weight, shaping perceptions and influencing the strategic calculus of all actors involved. The delicate balance between deterrence and escalation underscores the need for careful strategy, disciplined communication, and ongoing international engagement. Observers agree that the next period will test not only the capabilities of the armed forces, but also the capacity of leaders to navigate a complex, high-stakes security landscape without triggering unintended conflict. The evolving dynamics demonstrate that maintaining peace in East Asia is a multidimensional challenge requiring attention to military preparedness, alliance coordination, economic implications, and strategic signaling. As Japan strengthens its missile capabilities, China asserts its resolve, and Taiwan modernizes its defenses, the region remains on high alert. The combination of these factors reflects a broader recognition that stability is fragile and that strategic foresight, measured response, and careful diplomacy are essential to managing the risks inherent in one of the world's most contested regions.